off a 111-109 victory over the LA Clippers Sunday and are back on the floor against the Lakers tonight at 10:30. It's 53 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Welcome into an NFL Combine edition of the show. No, not live from Indianapolis. It's way better to be here in Jacksonville, FLA, but lots of Combine news coming out, as we know already. And so I feel like, yes, while the Jaguars brass isn't there, it's still an exciting time.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of buzz going on. They'll talk about who's free agency. They'll talk about draft selections, positions, things like that. Eventually, the guys will get to work out, and you'll see some of that. I think, the interviews take a long time. The medical takes a long time. So the medical side of it's really important because they check you out head to toe. All the MRIs you need, X-rays, whatever the case may be, they'll go through the list. They got to make sure you're healthy, got to make sure everything's A-okay in that regard. But yeah, man, it's only so many guys get invited to this thing, right? And they get an opportunity to showcase their skill in front of all these NFL teams looking for players. So it's a tremendous thing for the players. I understand why our two guys aren't going to go, and that's okay because the buzz will still be happening, still be going on. They say that St. Elmo's Steakhouse is like the best. You've been there. Yeah. Everybody goes there. That's a lot of fun, a lot of deal making.
Famous shrimp cocktail.
All that, yeah, right. It's supposed to be like unbelievable there.
It's great.
How do you make that famous? It's just like raw shrimp and
it's all the presentation. It's all the presentation.
The shrimp is cooked. Yeah, and it's cold. It's not raw though, I promise. But yeah, I guess because up there you don't really get a lot of shrimp, seafood, maybe. And so they have bigger shrimp. And I mean, it's delicious, but I've also really never had a bad shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, really. Listen, they'd probably fly that stuff in from somewhere. I don't know. But
Mayport, if they're smart.
They should. There's no question. That's the best. But yeah, no, it's still a big deal. I mean, it's a big thing for these college guys to be able to showcase what they get and do. They get competitive. Who can run the fastest 40 time, who looks the best, who benches the most times,
I saw the record for bench press. I forget the name of the person now, but it was like 49 something times.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
225 pounds, 49 times. How many times, if you had gone to the Combine, how many times do you think you would have been able to bench press 225?
Right now?
No,
my pro day where they came to our school, I did 28.
That's a ton.
Yeah, but 49 is ridiculous. But you got to be built for it, too. A lot of bench presses.
You have to have shorter arms, right?
Well, if they're shorter, you just don't have as far to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it's still strong. I mean, it's unbelievable that anybody can do, 49 reps at 225.
The most I've ever benched was like 95 pounds. That's it. And that was at like the
That's all you
time
need.
I was
That's all you need. It's over. Now, 225 is a good one because it's not too much, you know what I mean? But, all that heavy lift, that's one thing. And I grew up in the 80s, where it was all about how much you bench, how much you squat, how much you lift, how much you curl, and you'd be literally grown into a meathead, hence the nickname. But yeah, that was always a big deal. But when you look back, you're like, man, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to press, 1,000 pounds on the leg machine and, military press, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to have these functional type workouts. You look at a guy like Max Crosby. He's not, he's probably a great gym guy, but he's probably working on all kinds of functional things, leaping and running, circle, like getting around things, using
lateral
those
movement.
Yeah, but still working on his strength. I don't mean that, but it's a different way. But when I grew up, that's what it was. You were lifting a ton. It was more lifting than running, but today it's a lot different.
Yeah.
You got to be able to move. The name of the game is speed. There's no doubt, especially in today's offense and the defenses that are defending this offense. It's spread out. You're running a ton. You got to be in great condition. You got to be
I feel like martial arts is better, honestly, than lifting.
Oh, without a doubt.
You have to lift some too, but I feel like that's a better way.
That's more functional. Yeah. That's more functional stuff, without a doubt.
One of my favorite storylines was because Jay Cutler wanted to do the bench press, and he was like the only quarterback, I guess, to do it, and did 23 reps of the 225. I remember everyone being like, "Whoa, like that was kind of crazy for him to do that."
That's crazy strong for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
was
I don't even
strong.
think they would want
Brunell was
a
strong.
him
quarterback
to do that.
do it.
Yeah. Well,
But
I don't even think they did then. He was like, I do what I want to do, so I'm going to. Cutler just did whatever he
Go
wanted
figure
to.
with him.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no doubt. But the martial arts, for sure. I used to go tell this Asemeños, a good friend of mine. He's over at Tom Bush, but he was a taekwondo guy with Greece. Came over he was an alternate on the Olympic team and ended up coming back and staying. But he had a studio in his garage. It was unbelievable. It was all padded with mirrors and a few different heavy bags in different areas and whatnot. And I would go in there and he'd teach me boxing, kung fu, and then I already knew taekwondo at the time. We stretched a ton. We sparred. We worked the bag a ton. You know, it was just probably a harder workout than a football workout. But it was great for movement. The kung fu was all about typically, like I guess with taekwondo or even other arts, you know, you're stopping that force. Kung fu is almost let them go by you and then attack them. So for me, trying to avoid those big linemen, it was great to be able to move my upper body, you know, almost, you know, to 100, whatever degree that is, to where I'm now parallel with them instead of perpendicular. They get a straight shot on me. You know, just little things like that. But yeah, no, the martial arts is
I think our pass rushers might need to add some of that.
Well, they do, and I know they work on their hands, but you know, it's more than just your hands. You know, it's your feet, it's your hips, and your hands, especially when you're rushing the passer or even playing out, you know, the right or left tackle. You know what I mean? It's all that all the way through there. You got to be really nimble and really quick and be able to recover and change direction really, really quick. That, you know what I mean? You have to be built for that. But yeah, that would help anybody.
In football too, you get a lot of breaks, right? Like the game seems like it's moving fast, but in reality, there's 30 seconds in between plays, and the plays are much shorter than 30 seconds. So really, when you're talking about maybe like boxing or some other martial arts, like your heart rate is staying up higher
very quickly
than it is in football, honestly. In football, in football, it's more like interval training.
Yeah, no, anything that you do extra that's different than, you know, simulating a football game is really good for you, for your training and the conditioning especially. But yeah, no, all that stuff. That's why, like, and even today, I always say this, like the guys playing today, you can only be there for so long. You got to do a ton on your own. Like a ton of extra, whatever that is, you know. But as far as what we're talking about, like doing extra workouts, like going to yoga even, you know, getting a stretching machine, you know, stretching more, or having a stretch person come over, or whatever the case may be. You know, that extra stuff, because they eventually you got to leave. You know, you got to leave the facility. Yeah. You know, they do a great job bringing people in, but you can always do more.
I want to say it was Calais Campbell. It could have been Malik Jackson. One of them, when they were a Jaguar, said that they spent about $100,000 a year with their own
other training. Yeah.
Whether it was training or whether it was cryotherapy.
I think it was Calais.
Yeah, I think it was Calais. And
it takes that much to keep that body going for that long.
Keep you in tip-top shape. And I mean, obviously, it's worked wonders for Calais, considering how many years he's played in the league. And I do feel like, going back to a guy like Tiger Woods in golf, Tiger was so focused on the strength training. And I feel like if he had done less of that and maybe done some other disciplines, then he might have been able to not have the back issues and might have been able to keep playing at the high level that he once was.
Well, look, I can't speak to that. I know those guys whip that thing around so fast. Like I always wonder, do they like practice the other way? You know, so like you're symmetrical. You know, because you're always
get the workout on each side.
You go back the other way. You know, or you just, you know what I mean? You just go so dependent on the one way that you know, it kind of messes things up.
But, yeah, I don't think they ever golf with their opposite hand.
No, I don't mean for like real golf, but
just
the
swinging,
movement.
Yeah,
just the actual movement for it. But yeah, no, I think those, you know, he got a little bulky, but you look at DeChambeau and you look at Koepka, they're big guys and they swing like unbelievable. I mean, they're whipping that thing around. I can see they're having issues with the back.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe we'll ask Miranda. If they practice the other way.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. By the way, since you mentioned Max Crosby, Raiders GM John Spytek said earlier that he expects Max Crosby to remain with the Raiders. So for everyone dreaming of him becoming a Jaguar, not sure that's.
I mean, if you're Clint Kubiak, you're like, please don't go. I need you to stay.
Yeah, and this time of year when you start hearing some of these rumors where you're hearing earlier with Breece Hall and the Jets and them talking about possibly tagging him. That's when these conversations start to come in of, is that the right choice for the Jets to make when they really feel like they're kind of starting from scratch right now? I don't know.
He's the best player they have, I think,
but
right
you get
now.
some massive
Maybe
capital
Garrett
out of
Wilson's
them.
the best, but yeah. All right, so speaking of golf and Miranda Rossum from the PGA Tour is going to join us next, PR, and she does a fabulous job, and it looks like she brought us maybe some gifts. So we'll discuss that on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. It's Jacksonville's Super Bowl of golf. If you can't make it to the players, let 1010XL bring the players to you with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by
Purple Heart Pools
Universal Roof and Contracting
and Kuhn Flowers.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
XL Primetime is back where they belong.
Wait a minute, I know where that is.
Lunch is on Josie, Matt Hayes, and Leon.
You could lay a little barbecue on us.
From the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
But somebody else is going to have to cook it.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Get your tickets for the Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala. Join Super Bowl winning coach Tom Coughlin at ViStar Ballpark Thursday, March 5th and raise a glass to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Enjoy hundreds of wines from around the world and food from top local restaurants. Buy tickets and learn more at tcjfund.org/wine. tcjfund.org/wine.
Nate Bargatze.
It's a lot to have two dogs, because you gotta open the back door and let two dogs out.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 26th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here from the Blue Crab Crab House. February means the Mardi Gras menu returns to the Blue Crab Crab House. Gumbo, shrimp Orleans, black and red fish, appetizers, dessert, and more. This includes, of course, their regular menu where you get crabs from the Alaskan waters, the Canadian waters, the Southern Georgia waters. It's only at the Blue Crab Crab House. Doors open at 4:30, San Jose, and, of course, Julington Creek Road.
Daytona Supercross. Experience all the high-flying action and side-by-side intensity of Monster Energy AMA Supercross on the most demanding track of the circuit. The gate drops February 28th at the world's center of racing. The high-flying, crowd-pleasing Daytona Supercross is a great event for the entire family. For a chance to win tickets to Daytona Supercross, answer this: who designs the Daytona Supercross course? Text the designer's last name to 641-1010 now.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks, and Miranda Rossum joins us now. Everybody listening to the song that is playing?
Yes, we got some Luda on. We were just chatting Luda.
Heck yeah. Ludacris will be performing for the Military Appreciation on Tuesday night. That concert, that's always a fantastic event around town. So let's start with Luda there, Miranda. How have the tickets been going for Tuesday?
They've been going well. Obviously, very popular response, and people are excited to see Luda, and thankfully, they're excited to mix it up. So hopefully, we'll come back to country at some point, but I'm excited. It'll be good.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be country just because it's a Military Appreciation Night.
I think it's fun. I mean, my friends were pumped when I immediately screenshot and sent it to everyone, and they're like, heck yes, this is going to be a blast. And I also think it opens it up to people that maybe wouldn't have experienced it previously, and that's what you want to do is grow this tournament.
Correct. And also, like, our service members aren't just country music fans.
Yeah,
so, like, we wanted to be able to cater to everyone. So we're really excited for that.
How did you get to Ludacris? How did that, like, was he one of many, or did someone go, hey, what do you think about Ludacris? I was like, yeah, Ludacris would be great. How did that come about?
He's actually like a big golf fan, and he's done quite a few golf tournaments in the past. He just did WM, Phoenix Open. So we have like a roster of artists that are also golf fans, and he was on that short list, and we called him and he was interested. And I was joking with Lee Smith. I'm like, we're either going to get promoted or fired for this. I'm hoping it's not the latter.
So obviously he has some songs that have some cuss words. Like, do you go to him and say, like, we need you to tone it down because this is a family-friendly event?
His whole show is going to be clean.
Okay.
He apparently does it all the time. I have no idea how he's going to pull it off, but he did it for us at Tour Championship in Atlanta a couple years back. Okay. So it's doable. So you can take your little ones too. It's safe for them.
Good. I love that.
That is a great question, though, because there's some songs that even, like, not bad words, but the meaning around the song might be a little odd. Miranda, one of the things that we talked about a ton last year, the app and all of the different things that the app would do, and it came to being able to, like, track certain golfers and it tell you kind of that path to where to go, because people like me who go every year still get lost on that course for some reason. Is there any new cool app things, or has that part of it improved and things like that?
So the app coming back, and like they've even improved that wayfinding, so you'll be able to find your favorite group, favorite golfer. They'll take you to that exact hole they're at, but they're also even taking into account like traffic, like foot traffic, and it'll take you away and route you in a way that you're able to get there the fastest. And then we're also doing a fantasy league for the players. So if you set your lineup by Thursday, you could potentially win some hospitality tickets. So that's cool.
Very cool. How about some new experiences, Miranda, we're going to see out there out on the course?
Yeah, we've got some fun ones for our fans. I think the one I'm most excited about is we're partnering with Stanley. And if you buy a Stanley Cup in the fan shop, you can go and get it engraved on site, custom for free. So that'll be really cool. Yeah. So be sure to buy a Stanley. Delta's partnering with us. They're making a Sky Miles deck, which will be really nice. And then, Lauren, for you, we have a new wine partner this year. We're working with Duckhorn. Does that sound right?
Of course, yeah.
For a decoy, the one with the duck on the bottom. Yeah. So, you know, you're excited about that.
I'm not the only wine drinker here.
I know decoy. I've heard of that. It's great.
I think for people who've never been before, what they don't understand is just how fun every single hole on the course is. Like, everyone talks about 17 and the iconic 17. And look, I get it, especially if you're playing the course. Like, everyone's going to ask, what did you do on 17? But there's literally like a hidden gem all throughout that golf course. And you can sit on a hill like at 8 and just overlook, you know, the green and have so much fun there. Or you can travel to 12 and be by the water. Like, there's just so many options. I love it.
Yeah, I love 6 personally. Like, all the palm trees there. It's really quiet. It's a nice spot. We're even going over by like 10. You can go to Trucks on 10, which is like my absolute favorite thing in the world. There's like 5 or 6 different food trucks every year. They rotate some of them in and out. Go over there, get yourself a quesadilla from Mama's Food Truck. It's so good. And then go watch some of those more quiet holes. It's fun.
Which is also where we will be set up this year.
Yes.
Trucks on 10, which I'm super excited about.
I did not even segue that on purpose. But
Yeah, so for people that don't remember, there's the tacos on 12 with Taco Lou, and then trucks on 10, like you said, all the different food trucks, but those are pretty close by. And yeah, I'm super excited to be there. We ate at Trucks on 10 last year, and there was a big group of us. Everyone had a different food truck experience, and they were all fantastic.
Yeah, because I think they have, I don't know if they're the Cousins Maine Lobster was there last year. There was like a barbecue place, pizza place, so you get a little bit of everything, and that's one of my favorite things. And food in general at this place is one of my favorite when you talk about eating. But the Trucks on 10 is just such a convenient location. It feels pretty central. You're not far from the clubhouse, so it's just kind of that easy. And we can actually, I feel like we'll get more foot traffic through there too with our show being there this year.
I'm excited that you guys are happy about that. I was trying to figure out where to place you guys. I'm like, I'm going to put them in my favorite spot, and hopefully they like it too. So.
Right by the food. Perfect.
Yes.
It'll be a lot of fun. Miranda Rossum here with us from the PGA Tour. How about ticket sales? We got a bunch left. What are we looking?
Okay, so Friday, Saturday parking already sold out, but we have other alternate options: ride share, shuttles, etc. All of our general or stadium passes, what we call them, are still available. Saturday is trending towards sellout. Last year we announced that sellout, I think Wednesday of tournament. This year, like it could be late February, like this week or next week, that Saturday will sell out, and Friday is going to follow pretty soon after that. So if you're interested in going on Friday or Saturday, I would encourage you to buy your ticket today. And that's not just me being a sales marketing person. It's
real.
Like if you want to go.
Well, and when we watch, different tournaments, whether it's Pebble, whether it's the Waste Management Phoenix Open that we just saw a few weeks ago, like you want to be there. It is, even if you don't love golf, it is so much fun to hobnob with some of your friends that you haven't seen in a while. I have a half sister. I see her once a year on the tournament course, right? Or during the tournament on the course. And it's just, there's so many different aspects of it too. And then obviously there's also the elevated hospitality places that if you've never been in some of those are nice.
Yeah, and those people that that's where business is conducted in Jacksonville. It's not being done in the boardroom anymore. It's being done at TPC Sawgrass on those suites, and they're wheeling and dealing in there. And I'm like, awesome for you guys. I don't understand any of it, but also I think to your point about the FOMO, if you're not there, the fan shop. If you're not there early week, it'll sell out, and then you're going to be kicking yourself because you see someone wearing something you wanted for the rest of the year. I can't go to Publix without seeing at least 5 people wearing a Players Championship shirt, which I love. But if you want to be one of those select few rocking it, you got to get there.
You got to get on it.
And the fan shop does open before the tournament starts too. So same hours and everything as last year when it comes to Friday before.
Yep, 10 to 4 every day.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of people who will go just to make sure they have their merch for when the tournament starts that
Of course.
week.
Talk about Wednesday. That's a big day for the fans to come out, right? It's the final practice round. The golfers are very accessible to the kids for pictures, autographs.
Yeah, that's a great day to come out. It's a little more quiet, a little more chill. And to your point, it's a really good family day. A lot of people don't know it, but if you purchase a ticket for an adult, you can bring in 2 kids for free under 15 with your ticket. So you could bring a family of 5 for the cost of just 2 actual regular
on
tickets.
Wednesday or any day?
Any day, but Wednesday I think is a really good day to just kind of let the kids, let it rip.
Before it gets too busy usually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I feel like one of the best weeks of the year every year, right? And we say that, but I really mean that. I'm not just saying it's awesome. No, we all look forward to it year after year. And yeah, whether it's planning your outfits or planning the concert or planning parking or ride share, things like that. Miranda, as far as on the golf course part of things, when will we start to hear who's actually going to play in the event, even though we all know all the biggest stars will?
So we'll have a pretty good idea Sunday after Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, but we'll have that definitive list the Friday before the event. New this year, that's different, is our field size has actually gone down to 120 players from 144, which is going to help us finish on time. There's been so many years where either due to darkness or weather that we've had to, do a delayed start. So we're excited for that. It'll actually probably be 123 players because with the returning member program with Brooks Koepka, they have to even it out and add 2 additional people to the field, and he's committed to playing. So it'll be 123. With that, though, there's going to be some names that you would normally expect to see that don't make it, and that just shows how competitive the field is. I think if we hosted the Players Championship today, Max Homa wouldn't qualify. Sahith Theegala, I think, is on the cusp. Adam Scott, some of these bigger names.
No, Adam Scott.
I know. He's bolded. He's going to be there. He's just
Past
formalized.
champion has to,
Yeah,
has to
we've
be in
gotta
the
have
field.
him.
I love Adam Scott.
One of the fun things were I guess interesting things that I didn't think about last year until we started talking about it so much was the removal of the tree on 6. That was like such a big thing. Is there anything course-wise that you feel like is the storyline this year?
Nothing crazy like the tree, which
Yeah.
I still think people have only gone through that one time.
Yeah.
So having that tree that they have to hit around will still be like a fun little obstacle for those people. But they added a bunker on 12, which is not like crazy. So it'll be just the same old TBC Sawgrass, which is a challenge.
We love
in and
it,
of itself.
but yeah. Challenging enough, I feel
Some have
like.
complained
Yeah.
about it in the past.
Yes.
Not that you get to do it on. Well, maybe you do, but who are your favorite golfers to maybe follow around, or maybe people listening saying, "Man, I want to go follow."
Yeah.
That guy sounds like a fun guy.
I love me some Tommy Fleetwood
Yeah,
and
yeah.
his son. I love Justin Rose. I'm not just naming European people, I
was
promise.
going to say, picking the British players.
It's just everything they say sounds so pleasant when I'm dealing with them. I'm like, oh, such a
Same with the
kind
Aussie and
man.
Adam Scott, right? Yeah.
I'm really excited though for some of these like younger guys that are coming up. Like I think Chris Gotterup is positioned to have like a breakout players championship. He's won a lot of smaller events. He's won twice this year. So really excited to see what he does. I think he's really fun to watch. I love Ben Griffin. He cracks me up. So Bethpage Benny. So I'm excited to see what he does this year. So
In my head, I always call him Ben Hill Griffin because
Yeah.
that's the Florida Stadium. And obviously, like seeing Scotty Scheffler up close in person for a lot of fans is unbelievable. Last year, we weren't sure if he was going to make it with that potential neck injury that he was dealing with, but he obviously ended up playing really well.
And he's so ridiculous.
I know. He just
think
doesn't stop.
Between the players, and last week was the first time I think he finished outside the top 10. And 4 of the last 9 times he's played, he's won. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
So
it is like
it's his to
clockwork.
lose.
For sure.
He's insane.
I wanted to ask you, okay, so the Players Championship put out a video about 2 weeks ago now, and at the end of it, it says March is going to be major. So we've heard Lee Smith discuss it on the airwaves of 1010XL, but from your perspective, what needs to happen for the players to become a major?
I mean, in my eyes, and granted, I'm probably very biased.
Yeah.
It's already there. Like we have the iconic course, we have a great field, and we have the history and tradition associated with all the other majors.
And so many studs that have won in the past.
Yeah, the caliber of champion is insane. I think it's some sort of, it's like 67% of our past champions have also won another major. So that kind of shows you the level of play there. So in my eyes, it's already there. It's just a matter of formalizing it. And there's really not a formal governing body that gives you that stamp that says major check. It's kind of a construct with both fans and media. So hopefully they catch up to where I'm already at. But I'm excited.
It is an event that it feels like it's honestly because of the course, it's more, I would say, well-known and prestigious than like the PGA Tour Championship. Like, yes, that ends up rewarding a lot of the guys some, not a lot, but some of the guys some serious dollars, right? Because they win the whole thing. But at the same time, I feel like with the way that this course sets up with the field that it's always had, it is a major in my mind too.
Yeah, and I think something that is unique to the players is it's the Players Championship. Like it's theirs. It's both plural and possessive.
Right.
So they really feel that ownership for the event, the experience, and just it for them, it feels like coming home. So it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got some tickets to give away.
We do.
Caller number 2, 641-1010, caller number 2, and you're going to go see Ludacris
Oh, yeah.
on Tuesday, in addition to, of course, be out on the golf course for the Tuesday practice round. Your favorite Luda song? All of them?
Gosh. Move, ma'am, I guess.
This will be
That was good.
I
Maybe
am-
you'll sing it that way, right?
I'm
That's a
intrigued.
G-rated.
I'm intrigued of how he does this.
Yeah,
like
it's that
kids
clean
bop
show.
version, but it's fine.
All right, so a reminder to people to get their tickets now, get their parking now, but you can't get Friday and Saturday parking. It's already sold out. So if you're going to go, say, Thursday or Sunday especially, make sure you get your parking, but definitely also get your tickets if you haven't already to Friday and Saturday. I don't think people in Jacksonville work on Friday. Like you said,
No.
some work
That's
gets
right.
done in
No.
the chalets, but outside of that, almost everyone I know is out on the golf course walking around on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday as well. Miranda, thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Miranda.
All right, we'll be back
Great
with more
stuff.
1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Repairing or replacing your roof is a pretty big investment. So when that time comes, you can trust my parents at Endless Summer Roofing. Visit endlesssummerroofing.com for a free quote. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and if you think Closets by Design is just closets, you've got to see their brand new showroom at Phillips and Emerson. It is amazing what they can do. See for yourself how they design customs organization for any space, garages, laundry rooms, bedrooms, even the man cave. It's all about smart storage that fits your lifestyle and budget. Schedule an appointment to meet with a design consultant today and tour the showroom for ideas you can see and touch. Start at closetsbydesign.com.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Picken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller. I'm starting to realize being a homeowner isn't all upside, Jason.
I mean, it does give you a place to live.
Yeah, but now suddenly I need to know the names of all the people I need to look after my house.
Like who?
Like if my air conditioner breaks in the middle of the heat wave, I need to know who I call to fix it.
That's me. You know me.
But what if my water heater dies or my toilet backs up?
That would also be me. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
Okay, fine, but what about my duct cleaning and my water filtration and my sewer drain? Where am I going to find all those guys if something goes wrong? I'm just a guy with a house and a dream and...
This pair of sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing is the only name you need to know. Our club members even get 2 free visits a year, so you know we're there when you need us.
Well, that's cool.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Tara Lagaman for Local Fair Jacks. It's our go-to for local produce, eggs, and meat. You pick exactly what you want each week online, straight from local farmers. And knowing where your food comes from matters. Visit localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you, talking some Players Championship. And by the way, every time I check the leaderboard for the PGA Tour, a T. Lawrence appears up there, and it's not Trevor Lawrence. But I find it funny that that he's playing really good golf. This Thurston Lawrence guy, but it just says T. Lawrence on my app.
I remember that last year actually because I feel like something
spelled the same way too.
It's
just like
Thurston. It's
Yeah.
Thurston.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's not
yeah. But
actually
Lawrence,
Trevor.
no, I know.
Yes,
the
but Lawrence is
Lawrences,
spelled
yeah.
exactly the same. Yeah, and so it's literally just T period Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I'm always like,
Right.
that's not Trevor. I promise. But
Even though he may. He's a talented man.
that is true. I don't think I heard Scobie on with the drill, and they were asking who's the best golfer kicking wise as far as like previous kickers.
Yeah.
And Scobie's like, oh, I still have it. Like Cam Little's not better than me golf wise or whatever.
Okay.
But they didn't. They said Trevor played with Cam Little and Ross Matisick recently for the Players Championship Media Day. But I didn't hear any word of like Trevor mentioned, and so I think Trevor enjoys it. But
Yeah.
to my best guess would be I don't think Trevor's like the best golfer.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a
At the
good
level.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It
kickers
needs
got
to be
all
a
the time in the
quarterback.
world. That's why
Yeah.
they're good golfers.
Right.
I mean, they can go play golf. No doubt about it. I remember when I was with New Orleans in '93. I remember the punters were going to play golf like in between practices. I was like, wow, you guys really got it made, man. You can just go play golf in between padded practices and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's hard. That game's wicked hard. Golf.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Not
you gotta
terrible.
spend a lot of time on it. And I used to play a long time ago. It was on Fridays, but I'd always come home intoxicated and sweaty. And my wife would be like, this is no fun for me. Like, it's Friday, the kids, I finally got them. Let's go. And you coming home like this. It's like, all right, I got to pick a different hobby. So I joined a band. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But
That
no, it
requires
is.
much
You
less
got to
time
practice. You
and
got to
less money.
practice. Yeah.
You do, but I feel like there is the entire off season that you have time. You can certainly squeeze that into your
Sure.
day. I just don't get the sense, and I'm sure some of this comes from looking at social media too.
Yeah.
I get the sense I don't get the sense that Trevor's like obsessed with golf by
Yeah.
any means.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
And you'll see him at some of the like events, you
Yeah, the
know, when they're
charity
at
golf
TPC,
tournaments.
yeah, and stuff like that. But other guys like Ross, you see, he's always golfing in some form or way. And so you can tell the guys that have that little extra love.
Throw
for
him
golf.
in with the kickers
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
punters.
Ross
You know,
is
they do
involved
their
in that.
work.
Any
They
of
work
those-
hard.
Yeah, those
but then they got time
specialists,
off.
and yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Scobie said that that Logan's getting pretty good, and Cam is good, but
Should.
Scobie's still better. But then again, Scobie doesn't have to go to practice right now either.
Yeah.
His practice is golf.
Yep.
All right, talking about Trevor Lawrence, he actually congratulated a Clemson player that won on the PGA Tour this past weekend, Jacob Bridgman. Here's Trevor and also his former head coach, Dabo Swinney, congratulating him.
Jacob, what's up, man? It's Trevor. I just wanted to shoot you a quick video, say congratulations on the big win, the Genesis. I've been watching all day today, as much as I could, and been following you. It's been a lot of fun watching you all weekend, and congrats on such a big win. You're playing awesome. Been really fun to watch. Can't wait to watch you the rest of the season, and when you go out there and play some golf soon, it won't be as fun to watch me play as it is to watch you, but we'd have a great time. But congrats, man. I'll be rooting for you the rest of the way. Keep killing it.
Hey, Jacob. It's Coach Swinney. Hey, man. Super proud of you. Just want to say congratulations. Everybody that's been following you knew this day was going to come, but today is the day. So this is a great win, your first win on the PGA Tour, and the first of many more to come. So congrats again. Enjoy the moment, and then let's get back to work next week. God bless you, and go Tigers.
Yeah, Trevor and I were the same age at Clemson, but he was so famous before he even got to school that he couldn't really hang out with anybody. And I met him a few times, talked to him. He's a super nice guy. I've been a fan of his since his whole NFL career. I'm so glad that he had an amazing season this past year and almost won an MVP. So super nice guy. I'm glad he was watching, and that's super special that he sent that. And Dabo has been probably the most important guy in Clemson history the last 20 years or so. Amazing man. He would show up to the golf facility all the time, just run by, talk to the guys, ask for a couple tips on his chipping, and scoot on by. So very, very nice guy. I'm glad that they're supportive of me. That means a lot.
And obviously the comments of Jacob Bridgman, who did win the Genesis Invitational this past weekend. I loved the couple barbs kind of that were thrown in there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so Trevor was a little too famous even back in college. So yeah, couldn't really hang out. And then Dabo would stop by the golf course and ask for help with his chipping. But I think what's cool is, and what we don't really think about is a guy like Jacob Bridgman has been trying to perfect his craft just for as long as Trevor has. But no one had really ever heard of him until this past probably like year or so. Whereas Trevor's been literally famous and a household name for the past, 8 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just the difference
Football,
in sport,
yeah.
and how many people are watching.
Especially in the South.
TV.
Very few golfers
everything.
at Trevor's age, yes, are household names, like a Charlie Woods, maybe even a Miles Russell.
Yeah, right, exactly. The exposure's not there yet, but then you get on the tour and you win an event. There you go. You got
If you're really good in
notoriety.
college, but again, people still don't pay it that much attention.
How many college guys, do you know how many do you know any on the Gators? I wouldn't expect you to, but do you know any golfers?
No,
Right.
not right now.
Right. You're like,
I usually
I don't know
watch
either.
if they're in the SEC championships, I'll watch that, and then if they're in the national championship, then I'll watch that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think in the football world, we also start following a lot of these players, like a Trevor Lawrence. We heard, Liam Cohen talk about when he was a freshman in high school, he was already hearing about him, and that's coaches and scouts and all of that, but other people were too, because you have now all of the access when it comes to social media of these players and these, especially quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the big one where you're like, oh, okay, this is what they did freshman and sophomore year, and this is what they're starred already, and this is where they're committing their sophomore year of high school. And so that conversation is so much bigger than the golf world conversation for most people. I know I have some friends that are very more like engulfed in the golf world, and they can tell you, oh, here's the top 20 college golfers, and here's the high school kids that are coming up, and they're going to be good. I think the majority of people, though, it's so much easier and accessible in football, and especially guys like Trevor. I mean, we shared that story before. Him and Justin Fields were 30 minutes down the road of each other. They were both on TV constantly as freshmen and sophomores. They were competing in, all of the quarterback contests and things like that. It was just everything. So you have so much more access to those football players, too.
No doubt. And look, with golf, man, it's like, you don't get the stretch you do from other sports. Like your score is it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, whatever. You just got to score well. You don't you could be recruited at a major school and never start.
Yeah.
You're still a good football player, but you're not one of the elite. I mean, to get to even a college team in golf, you got to be really, really good and probably playing a long time. Unless you're just a natural. And so there are, select few that can just pick up a club and be natural at it. But most of them have been playing since they were little.
Right.
To
learn the etiquette and everything, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all wrapped in there. By the way, I just looked up the Gators golf roster. Luke Poulter. Ian Poulter's kid is on the Gators golf team.
Yeah.
So,
well, now we know.
Now we know him. But I do think that's another part of it is most football players are from America, whereas some of these famous golfers are not from the United States. So you also are not going to have, ever heard about a guy from Australia or wherever they.
But even while they're in college, unless you really follow them, they don't get the exposure. That's all. They just don't get the exposure basketball gets or football gets or hockey up north or even soccer, even lacrosse.
Right. I feel like some people would watch college golf a little bit more if they could see the broadcast the same way that we get to see like the players and the majors. Like they have such good cameras and producers and things like that. Like the college
and switches from as soon as somebody makes a putt, it's right there directly. And and to your point, Tommy, too, football especially, there's so many measurables that people talk about. So there's this kid, and he's a sophomore, and he's 6'5", and he weighs this. Like, you talk about those things so much more. He runs a 4.24, and, like, those are your conversations. You're not talking about the golfers.
This kid is a driver 315. Let me tell you, it's unbelievable. Right down the middle every single time.
He's 6 feet, 165 pounds, sopping wet. Aren't you excited about his prowess at the next level?
You should see his chipping game. It's insane.
I do feel like I think it would be easier to identify a really good football player, a really good basketball player at a young age. I feel like I would have no idea. Yeah, unless he's able to drive the ball really far, I wouldn't be like, oh, wow, he's good at putt-putt. Like, this guy's going to be a star.
He's crushing it at Adventure Landing on Saturday.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the eye for that.
Yeah, well, he's out on the range by himself with other golfers, but working on his game.
We're not invited.
We're not. I'm like, get out of here. I'm busy. I got to work on my swing.
Oh, I love it. All right,
sport.
Back to the combine when we return. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. From the first play ball to the final, your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For honest, professional locksmith service, use Instant Keys.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship level service as a brand new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 24th, 1967, Wilt Chamberlain shot 18 for 18 from the field against the Baltimore Bullets, an NBA record for field goals in a game without a miss.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
The Florida Forum welcomes world-renowned chef and humanitarian Jose Andres at the Center for Performing Arts March 31st. His impact spans the globe as founder of World Central Kitchen, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and global leader using food as a force for change. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wilson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
Hi, I'm Leah Lynch with the Soulsbacher Center. Thanks to the players, we are providing affordable access to housing, healthcare, and opportunities to economic growth in our community. It's 14 days till the players.
The Purple Heart isn't just a name, it represents service, discipline, and earning trust. At Purple Heart Pools, that standard shows up most in pool renovations. If your pool is outdated or worn down, now's the time to upgrade. So when summer arrives, your pool is ready. From new finishes and tile to decking, lighting, and full transformations, every upgrade is handled with precision and attention to detail. Purple Heart Pools. Pool renovations done right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I like my water with lemon and lime. That's cause they're better combined. Kinda like us, you and I.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Tuesday afternoon. A little chilly out there, but definitely a beautiful day with the sun shining. As I think about the entire NFL world that has descended upon Indianapolis, Indiana, and let's check in to see what their weather is today. Oh, just a high of 36 and a low of 20. And then on Saturday, snow. That's not too bad.
No, they're probably wearing shirts up there at this point in time. After having the negatives for a while, I saw a bunch of people from the Sunday morning watching USA hockey up there, and they all just had T-shirts on. This is in Illinois, Northwest Indiana. But I was like, that once you are dealing with negatives and fives, almost 40 feels pretty warm.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd be playing basketball in the driveway. Snow might be melting, but as long as the driveway was clear, with just shorts and T-shirt on.
Better you than me. By the way, it looks like it might snow there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So for the people trying to fly out.
Mike Kelsey's been stuck in Boston since Sunday night.
Oh, because
He's
of the blizzard?
trying to get out tonight, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed for that for sure. All right, we've already done one giveaway. Should we do another?
Yeah, might as well.
Just give all the things away to the listeners today. We've got a pair of tickets to see the comedian Nate Bargatze at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena this Thursday. So clear your calendars for Thursday evening. Go see Nate Bargatze. He is hilarious.
So fun.
Call number 4, call number 4, 641-1010. Call number 4, 641-1010. Yeah, I feel like if you've never heard of him, then I feel like maybe you're living under a rock. Is that too strong to say? I don't mean to be rude.
Well,
he did the thing at Daytona this year too.
Yeah. He did.
Was it called the General Marshal? I don't know what.
I think
Start Your Engines. That guy.
Yeah.
Start Your Engines guy. Yeah.
I think Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal.
Yeah.
But or it's one of the guys where I bet if you Google him, you'd be like, oh, I have seen videos because there's just clips all over. One of my favorite ones of him, he's talking about. He's like, I realized, like, as I've gotten older, how much I'm not very familiar with history, and I don't know history very well. And he's like, I know this because when I watch any movie, like, based on a historical event, I'm always shocked at the movie and what happens in the movie. And very relatable for me because history was always my worst subject. But he's hilarious and all sorts of. I mean, he talks about everything, a lot of family stuff, so it's very relatable.
The one I most recently saw the video of was he and his wife got married on Friday the 13th, and so he was just like. Every vendor was like, are you sure you want to do this? But they were all available because nobody else wanted to get married on Friday the 13th.
You ever see that documentary of, it's like Seinfeld and like 2 or 3 other famous comedians who are going from club to club in New York, trying out new material. And they go up, do their bit, and then they come back to the table, and the 4 of them talk about it, and then the next guy goes. Yeah, it's really fascinating because you think like guys like Nate, like they just get up there, they've been working on stuff, and it's like they go to these different comedy clubs and get on
see
the
what
list
works and what doesn't.
It's pretty cool. Like to take inside, like you just think they're funny, like you're just funny, so you're a comedian, but it takes a lot of work to figure out like what your shtick is and what your next one is.
Because you may think it's funny, but then you do it in front of a crowd, and they're like,
nobody laughs. You're like, oh, I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, Bargatze's delivery is so deadpan that I think that's also why he's funny. Like some comedians, like Seinfeld, will laugh at his own material and things like that. Like he'll giggle, but Bargatze's just literally even Steven. Yeah, it just rolls off, and I'm sure there's nights though that their material worked one place, like one city, and then you go to the next place and it doesn't work. And I wonder about that for like concerts, musical artists. Is there a night that they're like, that crowd just like
Did
wasn't
not
into
feel
it, but
it.
then every other night is like amazing.
I'm sure. I know when I went to see, I want to say it might have been Chris D'Elia, but he that night said something and like a few people giggled, but it wasn't a big laugh. And he was like, wow, that worked way better in New York. And so they have those moments where they're like, things that hit in Boston might not hit in Florida, like the type of people and the fast pace and all of that stuff that happens up north doesn't always connect and resonate with different people across the country. So
and
they
if
do
you're
have
do
to learn
political jokes. Like I feel like you also have to
separate
kind of be
that a little
well
bit.
researched. And like you wonder, do you get like a small audience, like a sample audience to try it out in each area and then go to do it for
on the
full
big
crowd?
stage?
Like a little study before you take it to the big show.
Like just have I don't
go
think
to the
that
bar
they,
and sit down and just say things.
I don't think that they get those types of like focus groups, but we shall see. All right, more combine stuff that's coming out as far as CJ Stroud, Texans GM Nick Caserio. Of course, people were asking about the trades rumors and about his quarterback, and he said he's not going anywhere. He called that trade speculation moronic. So CJ Stroud is going to be a Texan.
Yeah, I mean, I like we talked about, I wouldn't give up on him yet. If I'm the Texans, if I'm D'Amico Ryans, that's Cesario, right? And that the GM Nick Cesario.
Nick Caserio.
Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't. He's got talent. There's no question about it. You got to hone him in. It's hard. We've seen it. We've seen it here. You've seen it other places, man. Talent alone doesn't get it done. And maybe they can, find a way to figure him out and put him in a system that works best for him, as long as he's willing to do that. I don't know the only thing I've ever heard about CJ, about his attitude, was he got into a beef with one of the coaches his rookie year about doing something a certain way, but I don't know if there was anything, like, I'm not saying like that makes him a problem child or anything. I don't know. I don't know if he's willing to say, you know what, like Trevor, he was willing to say, you know, yeah, I need my footwork fixed. I need to fix some things. Is he willing to say that, look in front of the mirror and do it and be like, all right, I'm ready to break it all down, coach. Let's build it back up and build me into a winner. Because he's got a lot of talent. And I do think he's cerebral in a sense. At least coming out of college, I felt like he saw things pretty well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wouldn't give up on him yet.
Definitely not yet. I saw he spoke at a humanitarian event yesterday, and he was super humble and said that he's glad he went through those mistakes. Like, he obviously wishes that the game had gone better against the Patriots, but, you know, he's going to learn from those. And I was like, maybe we're starting to see a change a little bit in that personality based off of
I mean, think how young they are when they come out at that age. I mean, go back to
some of them 20, some of them 26.
Yeah, right.
Today,
you never know.
They'll be 30 soon. And I think that you, number one, you are young. And also the way that it happened for him and some of these young quarterbacks who have that first season that goes really well, they're like, oh, this is easy. Everybody told me the NFL is hard, and then you do what you did. And C.J. Stroud played really well that rookie season, and everybody was like, whoa, you know, they nailed this quarterback, and everything felt like their offense just clicked. You had all the offensive weapons you wanted. And so maybe sometimes that you get drafted and you're pumped about that, and then you get to the NFL and you have that first season and you're like, oh, everyone said it was hard, and it's not that hard. And maybe you have to get brought back down to earth a little bit, and that this season could have done that for him, because it was, I mean, you got embarrassed in the playoffs. You turned the ball over way too much, and everybody's looking at you of now rumors of you getting traded, and that hits home, I'm sure, for a lot of these guys. So I agree, and Tommy, in the sense of, I don't think you separate yourself from CJ Stroud yet. I think you've seen glimpses, and even we've compared the stats even the last couple years when we're saying he's had bad years. His bad years is still better than a lot of the quarterbacks out there that are your other teams that have been trying to figure out the quarterbacks for a while. So get a run game, get an offensive line in front of him, and then decide if he's your quarterback in the
his rating
future.
was still in the low 90s.
That's why I'm like,
so
we say bad, but some teams would take that bad of CJ Stroud in a heartbeat.
Listen, I think all young guys, no matter the position, when you get to that year 3 or 4 and you become like that professional, that real professional, that's when you got it. And he seems to be maybe on that path. I know as an organization, that makes them feel so good. Like you come in, look, we're all young. I mean, think about it, 20, 21, like you said, 26, but typically you're 22, 23. I was a dumbass at that age. I mean, I just was. I was just, I was a good kid inside, but I was doing stupid stuff. Don't give me money at that. Yeah. I'd burn through it. I'd be going crazy with it, that kind of stuff. So when you mature and then realize, all right, this is my livelihood. This is my job. Now, if you have a family already, you might get there quicker, but if you don't, like I did, this is what I got to do. If I want to keep this beautiful thing going, then this is what I'm going to have to do. And then like I was saying earlier or a while ago, like eventually you need the head coach for game day decisions. I don't need him to rah me. I need the game plan. I need that, but I'm a pro. I'm going to be ready. You know what I mean? When you get to that, that's a beautiful thing. So maybe CJ Stroud's he's trying to get over that hump to get into that professionalism mode.
And it's also possible that he didn't fully think through how long-lasting those comments would be, right? Sometimes you're in the midst of a conversation, you're having fun, the other guys around you are kind of, spurring you on to say some trash-talking type things, and you just get caught up in the heat of the moment, and then 2 years later, you're like, oh my gosh, these comments have lived in perpetuity. But nowadays,
social media world we live in.
Nowadays, everything does. And so that's also a good lesson for young quarterbacks. Look, as a Jags person, I want the Texans to fall flat on their face. I hope they have to fire D'Amico Ryans and move on from CJ Stroud. But when we look at him as an individual, sometimes you want that young person in your life to, once they go through adversity, to be able to come out on the other side.
Yeah. I remember having the conversations when he first said it, and I was like, I kind of liked it because I felt like it upped the rivalry feeling, and it felt like the Texans and Jags were kind of whatever for a long time. And then CJ Stroud came out and said all of that stuff, and all of a sudden you have this reason, and I use hatred in the sense of the rivalry side of things, not like hating the human or hating this, but you're like, oh, that happened. And then the Azeez Al-Shaair stuff happened, and all of a sudden the Jags-Texans turned into like, oh, this means even more to win now. And I personally like that. I don't technically want them to win and be successful, but I think having personalities that make you want to beat them even more is fun for your division.
Yeah. And I just look with C.J. Stroud, the last thing you saw was that playoff game, and he didn't look good. And the way he acted too just was like, man, are you not into this thing? Like, what is going on? You're
he looked very somber on the sideline.
Yeah, even down the field, like it was just kind of weird. Like
he was cold.
He felt it almost felt like he was.
But he played at Ohio State, so
I
in an outdoor stadium in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm not going to give him that.
No.
All right, more to do on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Bought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
I'm Brett Musburger on the heartbeat of the First Coast, 1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Fall in love with a new Chevy at Nimnick Chevrolet. Frank Frangie here. Right now, save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 1.9%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck or SUV at Nimnick. Shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at the corner of Park and Cassett. So who's got more new vehicles at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by
Morgan & Morgan.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Throw your rifle and rod in the truck every Saturday morning.
This could be really special.
Go hunting and fishing with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Walls on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show, Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention sports fans! Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the big games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Bet anywhere, win here, only at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
2-day flash sale right now from Zero Res. 25% off tile and grout cleaning. Mopping can't reach dirt in trapped grout lines, so restore to a brighter, cleaner look. Lift embedded dirt and buildup from kitchens and bathrooms. Book now before the offer disappears. Call 287-5727. Flash sale ends this Wednesday for 25% off tile and grout cleaning from Zero Res. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forward, it's the right way to clean.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. College basketball season is flying by with the tournament play right around the corner. The SEC tournament will begin Wednesday, March 11th. And Friday, March 13th for the top 4 seeds, thanks to first and second round buys. The SEC championship game would follow following Sunday, March 15th at 1 o'clock. It's 54 degrees at 3:03 time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
So yesterday I asked Hayes during Crosstalk if the NFL should mandate that coaches and GMs go to the combine. And it may have to come to that at some point in time if we start to see more and more teams elect to eschew the combine and stay at home and just send some scouts and some medical personnel. But then it led me also to this question. If a team is not going to go to the combine, should Roger Goodell mandate that they at least hold a local press conference? And obviously national media would be invited to that as well. But they would at least have to speak to reporters during the week of the combine, even if they're not in Indianapolis. In other words, James Gladstone and Liam Cohen would meet with media here in Jacksonville since they're still here.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that at least help get all 32 teams in the news, so to speak?
Yeah.
So go ahead. I was going to say, so that's what this is about, access for the media.
That's what I think as far as our perspective of thinking about our digital and social channels, as far as content for shows. And fans right now, fans have grown accustomed to hearing kind of a state of the union, so to speak, from the GM and the coach. And it seems to me that it's easier not to go to the combine, and then you don't have to give that State of the Union type of address.
And I do think, I mean, that's part of Roger Goodell's job, is keeping the NFL always in the news and relevant and talked about. And so it's still, obviously, you have the NFL combine, and I think there's teams that still have a lot of value from clips I've seen today. They say they still see a lot of value in actually going. And so I don't know if it'll ever get to, I don't know if it would ever get to the point where no team is going or half the teams. I still think the majority would want to be there in some form or fashion. And I do think this gives them the ability to talk to other teams too about what they're hearing all this news of, are you trading this person? Are you interested? Are you blah, blah, blah. You don't have to pick up the phone. You get to just say, hey buddy, how's your year been? And then bring up Max Crosby on the side. And so I do think that some of those conversations happen. A lot of people like that in-person view of just seeing the speed of somebody or the extra stuff. I've seen a lot of stories of, one of the ones with Roma Dunze, for example, was like he was doing the cone drills and he wasn't hitting the number he wants, so everyone else had left and Roma Dunze stayed out there and worked on these certain cone drills because he was trying to hit a certain number. Those things, some teams like to see that stuff because they're like, okay, this kid stayed extra time or put in the extra work, or, you know, just the conversation and that face-to-face interaction with them. Some people like that. But I do think for Roger Goodell's sense, you do want all of your teams being talked about in some way. So if all of a sudden next year there's 10 teams not there, I could see him wanting to do something of, no, we need that. This is this time of year pre-draft where we want you guys to be talked about. We don't want the NFL to kind of be pushed back behind other things.
So you have to satisfy the media. That's in the NFL guidelines, right? You have to satisfy. So
like coaches having to speak during the year and like all of that stuff.
OTAs, mini camp, and the
right now, can you get that done with a Zoom interview? You know what I mean? Like we've done in the past.
Sure,
so,
I think that would
where they don't have to leave Jacksonville, they can just take.
But right now,
questions.
there's no requirement for them during combine week to speak.
Okay, so then the other thing is people watching the combine on TV. The people are going to watch regardless if the format. Like no one, I don't. I mean, I'm still going to watch the combine even though my guys might not be there. You know what I mean? So that's what the league's going to care about. So you're right about the media, because they do have an obligation to be in front of the media and talk about, well, what are your plans or what are you thinking? And they can be as vague as they want. You know, they're not going to give you anything, any secret sauce.
But the teams that we've seen meet today have given us answers on a Breece Hall, like we talked about earlier, that the Jets at least plan to franchise tag him or use one of the tags on him.
Yeah, but you could probably, if you were covering them, you'd probably guess that was going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? I thought that from way down here, like, he's their best player, pretty much.
I mean, the Ravens have said they fully believe they're going to work out a long-term deal with Lamar Jackson. Like, at least it gives the Ravens fans an update on contract situations that if their GM, Eric DeCosta, doesn't go to the Combine, the Ravens fans don't get to hear that.
But eventually they will. I mean, of course they would. It'd be in the news, right? I don't know. I get what you're saying. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, you got to figure something out where I understand, like, that, like, if Liam and Gladstone don't want to go, you know, because of their experience or whatnot, or where they're picking or whatever, they just don't feel it's valuable, you know, then you do have to say, okay, don't go. But you have to answer questions from the media.
That's what I would prefer.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, she's just saying, should there be some sort of mandate where at least the general manager and head coach have to talk? And I say it in the sense because, we are going to watch the Combine because we're talking about this and who the Jags may draft, and we're more interested in that. A casual fan probably isn't going to sit there and turn on and be like, I wonder what this guy's 40 is, or how much he lifts, or how high he jumps. What they want to hear is from their coach and their general manager talking about what's relevant. You talk about today, that's what you're hearing today is from the Bears, for example. Listen to that one. They were talking about the stadium. They're talking about what they want to do defensively, specifically about free agents. They talked about, we would love to hear about some of that stuff today. We'd love to ask questions about Buster Brown and Devin Lloyd and what we're thinking about Travis Etienne and what a contract looks like for Trayvon Walker next year. There's a lot of questions that could be addressed right now, and they don't have to do any of it. And every other team right now is answering those questions.
I agree with that. But the normal fan's going to watch the players because they want to see what they're doing.
Yeah,
they want to hear from their people.
I just think they care more about their people they're familiar with than just some of the work. And there are the diehard fans that are going to watch that.
The Combine serves a lot of purposes, obviously. Like, yes, part of it is for the prospects to be shown off and the workouts and things like that. And then the other part of it is, to be able to disseminate information to each fan base or opposing fan bases. Like, I want to know about the Texans and CJ Stroud versus radio silence here because they didn't go to the Combine.
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I feel like you got to satisfy the media. I guess maybe I have just a different look at it. I don't know. I don't.
But they don't.
I don't know what you're going to give me with Devin Lloyd today. Like, if you said, "Hey, what are you doing with Devin Lloyd?" Well, we're talking to him. You know what I mean? There's only so much.
That would be huge news.
Yeah.
Because the last
they haven't talked to him.
Why can't we just do it another time? Why does it have to be at the Combine?
It doesn't have to be at the Combine.
We're about to hit free agency, so you want to have these conversations before that free agency week hits as part of it too. Like, the Combine's in this perfect area where it's like you're far enough from football now. Like, the game that was played was a couple weeks ago. Now you're moving on and you're like, all right, we're about to get to that legal tampering. So let me get an idea of some of these things. And we're hearing it. I mean, I've been on Twitter all day seeing what everybody else, general managers and coaches, are saying. So I'd love to hear what ours were saying. And I don't care if they're there. I don't care if you're at the Combine. If you feel like the Combine, I don't have to get these answers of you sitting at a podium at the Combine, but I would like to be able to have that open access of a Zoom call or however you want to handle that.
Do you think that's part of the reason they're not going, so they don't have to address the media?
No, I think it's because the Rams don't go, and so
which maybe that was some of the Rams.
And
maybe that was some of the reasons they didn't want to. Maybe they didn't want to anscer a lot of those free agent questions, or why don't you have draft picks, or why don't you do this?
Right? They're kind of quiet on the injury front. Maybe they don't want to.
It's certainly possible. There's quite a few different things that, as far as they feel like they can be working on their draft board in person here and not have to be split. Some people in Indianapolis, some people here, and then you don't have to give fans information. But I guess where I'm coming from is I feel like it should be a mandate that if you're not going to go to the Combine, you still have to do, whether it's Zoom, in-person interview, just have some back and forth this time of year to
with your own media.
Sure. And like I said, if national media want to attend to, by all means, most national media probably covering the NFL are in Indianapolis, so they're not going to be in Jacksonville or wherever else, the Los Angeles. But that's what I would appreciate as a fan, as a media person, certainly from the social media side, like I said. I mean, a graphic going out about the Jaguars talking to Devin Lloyd would do phenomenal as far as on our channels. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just to me that close of the previous season, beginning, you're about to hit new league year. Let's do this transition. And that's what a lot of these coaches and GMs use the today's pressers for, where here are, the final words on this injury. He's going to miss most of the year next year, or he's not, or he'll be back. And here's what we value. A lot of them went deep into, okay, we think edge is way more, is deeper than interior defensive line, so we're probably going to look at interior defensive line. I've heard that type of answers, and I would love that right now to be able to have those conversations.
You guys should file a complaint.
We are right now.
Maybe they'll hear you and be like, all right, we're going to open up a press conference.
Press conferences a lot of times are not worthless, but are a lot lot of coach speak, so to speak.
I've never been to one.
Any press conference ever?
Never.
But you've watched them, right?
I'll see clips if they say something that's worth, listening to.
I've
In
been
my
to
opinion,
a
I'm
lot
not,
of press conferences.
Yeah, I've never gone to one. I always felt. I'm sorry. I always felt like I could do it without that. I wanted to be different than just sit there, and I didn't be a journalist in a. I could see it from the field. I could from my own experiences. I hear what they say. Don't get me wrong. We play a ton of audio on this station, right? You hear that.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Now that you can watch them all live, like that does make it easier. You don't have to necessarily attend to be able to see what the facial expressions and things like that of the coach. It's usually the head coach quarterback, at least in the season. But there are sometimes things that you can pick up on, like, for instance, if you're in the press conference room, and the head coach of the quarterback has an interaction with someone before they get to the podium, you get to hear all that. The press conference hasn't started yet, right? So not everyone has access to that information. Or when they're leaving, or if there's an exchange that goes after they've actually closed the formal press conference, things like that. Either way, we're not going to get any information,
we don't get anything,
so we'll turn the page.
Guessing.
To Lauren's Lane on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Queen Law Group on 1010XL. From the opening tee shot to the final putt on 18, track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors,
Taco Lou,
and Capital Glass and Shower Enclosures.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
If you gotta have more Gators, get them anytime with a Gator Podcast channel. Served up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast channel is too. On the video and social channels of 1010XL.
The road to March runs through Jacksonville. The 2026 Atlantic Sun Conference men's and women's basketball tournament is coming to VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Catch all 24 Division I basketball programs in action March 3rd through 9th. Reserve your seat today at asunsports.org/tickets. Jacksonville is the destination for ASUN basketball. Get your tickets to the 2026 Atlantic Sun Conference men's and women's basketball tournament today. asunsports.org/tickets.
Tusk, the classic tribute to Fleetwood Mac. Friday, March 6th at Florida Theater. Playing the hits and deep cuts of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Fleetwood Mac. An unforgettable show with the iconic music you love. On sale now at floridatheater.com. Don't miss Tusk. Recreating the Fleetwood Mac experience like no other.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Well, we're coming up with some good ideas of things that should happen. Time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
We should have a college football head coach roast every single year. Last night, in case you didn't know, was the annual Spurrier Awards at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Gainesville, which if you haven't been, that place is absolutely phenomenal. Multiple coaches ended up with hilarious jests at one another, from Kirby Smart to Mario Cristobal to Dan Mullen to Phil Fulmer to 93-year-old Doug Dickey. And of course, Steve Spurrier had to join in the action as well. They were there to honor the first-year players, as far as Georgia cornerback Ellis Johnson IV was named the Football Writers Association of America Defensive Freshman of the Year. Miami receiver Malachi Toney was named the Offensive Freshman of the Year. Dan Mullen was the first-year coach of the year after a 10-4 season at UNLV. So that the first-year awards is what they're called. But Tom, I don't know if you saw the video. Taylor, I'm sure
I did not.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Kirby?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
oh,
I
you
have
saw
seen it. I don't know how I
Tom,
missed
you saw
this.
it, Taylor.
That's
You didn't
great,
see it. It was hilarious. So for about 7 minutes, Kirby just takes joke after joke after joke at Mario Cristobal, John Sumrall a little bit too. He starts by being self-deprecating and saying how Spurrier basically destroyed Georgia's defense every single year that they played one another. And Chris Doering had 3 touchdowns on one drive. 2 were called back, obviously. And so he starts like that. And so you think like, oh, it's just Kirby being like gracious old Georgia head coach Kirby. And then he just launches into like, Ellis Johnson, you're sitting too close to Mario. Mario might steal you with all the NIL dollars that they have.
Oh, gosh.
He went down that road.
I love it.
I saw one person tweet out like Kirby going 95 miles or throwing like a 95 mile per hour fastball at these guys. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't connect 95 miles per hour and Kirby
To Georgia.
Yeah, right.
with what's gone on there. But yeah, then Mario got up and he's like, Kirby, did you even reach the podium? And talked about, look what Carson Beck did with actual good coaching, which very funny, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
good
then,
singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Spurrier ended up, of course, just always having little jokes that he has at people's expense.
Yeah,
It was
Kirby
fantastic.
said Florida. I didn't know Florida was such a basketball school.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
it's
They
a
were
basketball
digging at
school.
each other.
Cristobal said that Miami has more than one restaurant that Athens has, like, just those types of silly things.
That is fun.
But
Give us more of that.
And I was like, can you imagine if we really got like a Kurt Signetti in there and a Dan Lanning from Oregon? I mean, the top coaches, no offense, John Sumrall probably wouldn't be in there, at least not yet. But all those guys, the winning football coaches, and Kalen DeBoer, I suppose, could be in there too. And then them trading jokes
be
at one
very
another. I would
fun.
love it.
That would be fun. Yeah,
I would literally pay money to watch something. Like if you
Me
said
too.
it's going to cost $20 to watch that and it's going to be like 45 minutes of the best coaches roasting one another, I am in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
steal my money.
It's not like the stuffy interview before the championship game. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to be all professional. and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the roasts are hilarious when, like, the Tom Brady roast, for example, that thing did numbers, which it's Tom Brady, but people love when they, like, you loosen up a little bit. And it's like everything's so serious, you feel like, when it comes to coaches and what they're in their programs. So to see them, or just coaches, players, whatever the case may be, like, that was the most relaxed we'd ever seen Bill Belichick until now with his young girlfriend. But we have those conversations where it's nice to just see the fun side. Like, yes, we have all these serious conversations of NIL and portal and the quarterbacks leaving this school to this school, but I'm sure they have a lot of those little comments they'd like to say to one another. And I feel like NFL coaches could probably do the same thing. Let's get like a Sala and Liam and some of these guys in the same room and have them have some conversations.
I saw Robert Sala said Gus Bradley is like a second dad to him. And I was like, is Gus that much older than Robert?
Wow.
Like, I would have taken offense to that if I was Gus Bradley.
Well, Gus has got to be in his 60s, right? Early 60 maybe?
We'll find out.
Yeah, or maybe late 50s.
He's 59.
Yeah, he's late 50s. Okay. That's not.
I guess Robert
Sala's like
Sala
42 maybe.
looks older to me because 47.
Is he that? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was younger than that. Okay, well, he's not that much older than him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
wow.
would have been a 15-year difference. I would have been offended. Like an older brother, then I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
perfectly
Like a
fine.
dad.
So cover
But yeah,
3 zones coming our way, I guess, huh?
Yes, for sure.
Twice a year.
Twice a year. I think Trevor Lawrence, I saw a stat John Shipley of Sports Illustrated had, and it's like Trevor Lawrence has been the best against Gus Bradley defenses of any type of defense that he's faced. But doesn't surprise you.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know his zone. If allow the QB to sit there and make throws, they're going to make throws. It's always a hole in zone.
I also saw that coaching staff. Someone posted the picture of it. And it's like everybody's bald, and that coaching staff, the entire coaching staff, has no hair. And they're like, "This is the baldest coaching staff I've ever seen." And it was, I mean, like 9 of the coaches. Like they went pretty deep into some of the like analysts and stuff, and it was still like that. I was like, well, whatever works, I guess, for you, or not works.
Or Lane Kiffin, I also would have obviously.
I was
with the
about to say
roast.
Lane,
He
too.
got
Lane would be-
mentioned. Kirby said something about Mario and Lane being very similar, and you know, again, a lot of the NIL jokes, which were really funny, but. I do
Get some formers in there. Get Eddie O in there.
Yeah,
he would need closed cap. Some people would need closed captioning for his strong Cajun accent.
Right.
But yeah, Kirby, I think even said, I think he dropped the S word at the end of that press conference, but in
S
the
word?
end, like the
SH?
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the cuss word, the S word, the cuss
The
word.
S
That's
word.
the S word.
Okay.
I think he even said like dropped that in there, and I was like,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
but
Kirby.
you'll enjoy the video
I have to go
because
watch it.
everybody that's there in person ends up being like just really like out loud laughing. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can
Yeah.
tell like they find it absolutely
Do
hilarious.
you think that would get like? Do you think Dabo would do well in something like that? Because he's another one that you think of just being kind of nice, but he'll go off on his media sometimes when he gets a little feisty. I feel like he'd be one that may shock you and have some funny one-liners if Dabo was there.
Maybe. You never know their
know.
sense of humor. Like
Yeah.
Trevor would be able to tell us more,
Yeah,
obviously,
about
Yeah.
or ETN.
He
But
seems like a goody two-shoes kind of guy. And
Well,
then
he's
he's been
kinda mean to
complaining a
media.
lot. He's been complaining a lot
snaps
to
at
the
them.
media.
He's like, well, actually, I didn't. And I'm like, oh, okay, Dabo.
Yeah.
all right, RJ, you've got a little bit of a clip
Oh,
for
yeah.
us here. So yeah, Taylor Dahl can hear how this roast sounded.
Mario's right behind him, and if it had been up to him, he would have paid a lot more NIL money because it came down to us too. So I don't like you being real close to Mario right now. You know what I'm saying? He's still got another year left. Got to be careful around Mario. Sometimes he'll take your players, if you know what I mean. But no, I'm just kidding. It's all right. I was talking to Mario earlier, and he came up to me, and he gave me a Lane Kiffin joke. And he and Lane are very similar in a lot of ways. They're like best friends. And he came up to me, and he's like, you ought to start getting on some protein shakes. You've had too many carbs. And I said, well, you probably ought to spend some time with Steve Spurrier because he won more conference championships at Duke than you have in Miami. So Coach Spurrier and him got to visit some. I don't know why you're over here laughing too now. Coach Summerall, I got to ask you a question. I'm out. Is your daughter is a realtor? Did I hear that right? Is she the best realtor in Gainesville? Yeah. One of the best. Okay. Well, you're the 4th coach I've played since being at Georgia, so she's getting a lot of money sold houses. She's going through them. And I have tremendous respect for this town. I had no idea how great a basketball town this really was. You know what I mean?
That's
so
great.
Yeah, there you have
That's
it.
so
Like I
good.
said,
That's good.
Mario comes back at him a little bit too. But yeah, it's such a fun environment. I saw Pat Dooley tweet out that he and his wife were there, and he said, "I've never laughed so hard in my life."
Yeah.
And so obviously those are just the clips that have, or some of the clips that have come out. But like I said, I didn't know he was that funny. But also recently, I told y'all I listened to the entire John Summerall, his first press conference, and walked away thinking this guy has a great sense of humor and like finally. And you need that in order to connect with people, not just the players, but their families too.
Oh yeah, Billy was not sorry. It was so boring.
Sorry
it was
to
so
me.
boring listening to him. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm glad we do feel like you get a little bit more of a sense of injury because you are trying to relate to young kids. Like, I mean, you talk about recruits. You're talking to kids who are 16, 17, 18 years old, but then you also have this group of kids coming in who are 20, 21, and maybe a little. You have them a little bit older into careers now, but you need to be able to relate to that. And it does feel like at times it just feels certain coaches have it. It just clicks. And Liam Cohen's one of those prime examples. You feel like he just right away was able to relate to this team.
Yeah, it's like Signetti. Would he be? Yeah. I don't know if he'd fit in that environment. He doesn't seem like he's that.
A roast?
Yeah, like he would laugh.
Google
I don't know
him.
if he laughs a lot. He's a little stringent. Maybe he would loosen up. That'd be kind of fun to see. But I don't know. I don't know if I see that. Those guys are laughing all the way to the bank, man. Are you kidding me? They're high in the hog. They can do anything. They're living the good life, man, and rightfully so. I mean, they all obviously have been, good coaches, and we'll see about Summerall. But it's fun they can rib each other.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. And then Dan Mullen got up too, and he's like, I always knew I'd win a Coach of the Year in Gainesville. It just took me a little longer to get to this point than I expected. But he also jabbed at Florida and basically told Summerall as long as he wins 8 games this year, he'll win Coach of the Year.
Oh.
And so he's like, with the way this program is now, because Tom, I'm sure you're aware, Dan Mullen, Florida fans started to despise Dan Mullen and believed that he just stopped recruiting and didn't care about that part of things. And that was pre-NIL or pre-NIL and transfer portal. So you had to invest heavily in recruiting, and so eventually obviously he gets fired even though his offense was fantastic. And so I think he probably doesn't like the Florida fan base that much. I also did see that Florida's having a coaching conference for coaches only, like high school coaches and whatnot, and it's going to be Urban Meyer, Liam Cohen, John Summerall, and I want to say Dan Mullen.
Oh, that's an interesting
And
group
I was like Liam, stay far away from Urban Meyer.
Wasn't Dan Mullen, there was rumors at one point that he had somebody who would text recruits for him and everything and answer. I remember reading some story one time where it was someone found out that that he had a phone that he would say, hey, it's Dan Mullen, but he had other people texting certain recruits and stuff. He wasn't even actually doing the work. He had someone who would communicate through text until it was time to meet him face to face.
By the way, it's not Dan Mullen, but it's John Gruden. That's who else. It's John Summerall, Urban Meyer,
I love
Liam
Gruden.
Cohen, and
Gruden
John
would
Gruden.
be great.
But
He would be great in that roast too. Gruden would probably be
awesome.
fantastic.
100%. And I bet he would laugh at himself too.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like
for
that.
sure.
Some people are good at dishing it, but they're not so good at taking it.
That's right. Yeah.
I may fall in that category. All right. There are some UFL rule changes. Taylor loves rule changes, so we'll discuss that with the golden moment when we return. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios. We live for this.
That is caught for the touchdown.
We live for Jaguars football.
And the Jags strike first.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Discover downtown Jacksonville's newest go-to spot. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville brings you 2 floors of over 80 self-pour craft beers, wines and cocktails, plus live sports, live music, and private event space. And right next door, Pizza Dynamo fires up made-to-order pizzas, slices and calzones packed with bold flavor. Pair a pint with a fresh pie at Pizza Dynamo and Pour Tap Room, downtown at Laura and Forsyth.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday, backed by Morgan & Morgan.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
What Major League Baseball pitcher won over 500 games and pitched 749 complete games?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
With 511 wins and 749 complete games, Cy Young's record won't be matched.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bench? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Hacker here. We're rolling towards March, and for most people, that just means better weather and more golf. For me, 2 years ago, this time of year was a life changer. Honestly, it felt like a lifesaver. That's when I started Awaken 180, and in 1 month, I was down 35 pounds. 2 months, 50 pounds. And no, it wasn't magic. It wasn't some miracle shot. I tried the meds. I tried the cutting carbs. I tried convincing myself I was fine. None of it stuck. Awaken 180 wasn't a trick. It was a solution, a real plan, a coach who didn't let me drift, and the weight just melted off. That's the only way I can describe it. And here's the best part that matters. It stayed off. I'm not bracing for it to come back. I've kept my 122 pounds off for well over a year, and it stayed gone. Have 35 to lose? Cakewalk. 50? Simple. If March for you is just another month, fine. But it could be your turning point. It was mine. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
You love rule changes, Taylor Doll.
I do.
So let's
If they
talk
get 'em
about
right.
Yeah. Well, the UFL may be getting it right. The UFL is going to discuss. Well, the NFL is no longer discussing the
tush
end of the
push.
tush push. Yeah, but the UFL did announce today it is eliminating the tush push. So sometimes the UFL will adopt rules and the NFL will follow, or vice versa.
Yeah.
The UFL also announced that a 60-plus yard field goal will now be worth 4 points.
I saw that.
Now, for a team like the Jaguars, maybe
Cam's
the
like,
Cowboys,
yes.
Yeah, really.
I don't think the
Well, I
NFL
don't know.
would
Do we
do
go
that.
for the field goal then? You
Still
do you take
no.
the
So now we're
points?
wasting 4 points out on the field.
Analytics say no.
Yeah, I think the NFL would not adopt that.
Yeah,
I think it
no,
would be
that's
fun, but I
crazy.
don't think they'd do that.
Yeah, it's good for the UFL. A little different.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that spice it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the tush push being eliminated in the UFL, not the NFL?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the tush push, but you know, I mean, we stopped it a few times as a defense, so you know how I feel. That whole forward motion thing. Like
Right.
if you're stopped, no, your lineman shouldn't be able to push you forward for yardage. I just don't think, and that means it's, you know, now that's you know, it's subjective, right? When are you stopped?
Right.
I mean, you can kind of tell when you're stopped, you know, even though you might be churning your legs, you're not going anywhere. But then those big, fat offensive linemen come from behind and push you forward. You know what I mean? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because they get the yardage, and then on the flip side, if I hit you and drive you back 3 yards, you still
Not,
get
you
the
know,
yardage.
whistles, yeah.
So
That's
it's
where
not
I
on
am.
both sides.
And that's what, to me, some of the rules I bother me because I think there's ways to fix it. For that one, for example, if you're going to make it legal offensively, then you have to make it legal defensively, but they're not going to do that because they want more yards and they want more points, and that's kind of the world we live in the NFL is definitely catering to the offenses.
Always have.
So I think in that sense, but that's what bothers me. So I think there's ways that you can be like, okay, well, if you're going to tush push, then we can just shove you right back. And then if you're, if your quarterback starts going backwards, he's losing those yards. And then are people more hesitant to want to even do that if they feel like they're going to be able to be pushed backwards and lose yards?
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I think it's, and I know the owners voted unanimously to not ban it last year. I don't think it's on a docket this year.
It's not.
At all. So, look, again, to Taylor's note, like, it's all about the offense. You score points, we get to keep it. I think fans like it for the most part.
I think it's probably less discussed now than a year ago because the Eagles won the Super Bowl and the Eagles are one of the teams that use it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Bills kind of use it a little bit
use
too.
it. Yeah, the Bills
But that's not, I feel like, as discussed because Josh Allen is a guy that runs the football.
Well, and who's the team that has the tight end do it? There's a team out there that I think it was in the playoffs. Their tight end would run the tush push for them.
Was it the Steelers? Because they have that big Darnell.
No, it wasn't Darnell Washington. No, I know what you're talking about.
It's playoffs, right? The
Yeah.
Steelers?
Yeah, they did. They lost
won
in the
the
first
division.
round.
Okay.
Yeah, they got beat by Houston.
Yeah,
right?
they won
In
their
my mind,
division.
they didn't even make it because that's right, because
Right.
Tomlin got fired.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think that it's something that is unstoppable. To your point, the Jaguars were able to do it. It's all about leverage. But I guess I don't care that much either way if the tush push stays or goes.
Look, I don't like that whole forward motion in the open field either. I mean, that
Right.
happens a lot. You stop the pass catcher or the running back, and then the linemen come up and knock them forward a few yards, right? And they give them the yardage, right? I'm not a big fan of that. But look, again, the league's not going to change anything that
Helps
doesn't
the
allow
offense.
scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, they want scoring. I mean, you think about like way back, you were not able to grab as an offensive lineman. You had to block, with forearm shivers, and now, granted, that probably could still work inside today, but there's no way tackles would be able to ever block a pass rush without being able to grab them. Like using your hands. Just think about that. Like the defenses would dominate if you couldn't use your hands like they can. And it's legal. It's inside. I'm not talking about the outside stuff, but they changed that for a reason because it was becoming that.
By the way, Seahawks, the Super Bowl winning team, A.J. Barner is the tight end.
A.J.
Yes,
Barner.
yes,
There
yes.
you go.
Yeah.
Good call. And then just you think about it, the quarterback rules have changed tremendously. Can't even land on the guy.
They're going to have flags this year.
I mean,
You
think
didn't hear?
about this.
Yeah.
You can't land on the guy you
That's
tackle.
awful.
That
That's the
doesn't
Aaron
make
Rodgers
any
rule.
sense.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to your point, Lauren, when it comes to the tush push, because Philly won last year and because it felt like for most of the time, and you lose a couple offensive linemen, and all of a sudden the way they can also manage that tush push has changed a little bit this last offseason too. You've talked about the Jags being able to stop it a little bit on Black Friday. They ended up getting the ball knocked out of their hand trying to tush push and turn the ball over. So I think teams kind of started figuring out ways to slow it down a little bit, and because of that, it's not as big of a storyline, at least for fans, watching, because it didn't feel like, oh, well, the Philly won the Super Bowl because they tush pushed. It was they weren't very good.
I mean, look, Josh Allen's touchdown, he was carried in by his
he got picked
offensive
up.
lineman. Now, how is that even a play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not sour grapes here. It is what it is. But they literally picked him up and carried him for like 8 yards or 7 yards. That's like, what is
How
that?
do you defend that also?
Yeah, how do you even defend?
You get another, someone get on my back.
Yeah.
Someone get on Tommy's back.
We'll have chicken fights.
Those were so fun.
I know.
Oh
In the
my
pool?
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
If anyone was doing them not in the pool, then that's a little dangerous.
Well, if
But
you're
in
on
the
grass,
pool.
you can do it. I don't think they
I
call
am
them
not
chicken
doing
fights.
it on the grass.
They're
But
like
yeah,
ostrich
in the
fights.
pool. Oh man, I haven't played in a chicken fight.
I
in a
know, you
long
probably haven't heard
time.
that in a long time.
I
yeah.
haven't.
That's so
We
funny.
used to do that. I mean, all the time, and you'd always fight for like the not to be the base of it. You know, like you'd always be like, I want to be.
I
the
was
one.
always the base, drowning.
Yeah, you're like, can't breathe. Everyone's feet are kicking.
I was a taller girl for my age, you know, as like a teenager, and so I felt like I was always the base
On the
too. And I was like, no, I want to be like wrestling.
You're like,
with
I'm
them.
the strong one up here.
Yes, thank you. Valid point. All right, one segment to go. Pest of the day on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday is
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, company mascot at your service.
There are two important steps to installing the perfect garage floor. The two-stage coating application, sure, but nothing is more important than preparing the floor. Our team uses diamond grinding machines to grind your floors to a smooth, level finish. Only then can we...
Hold on! You grind garage floors with perfectly lovely diamonds?
No, Chester. We grind floors to perfection using the very best ugly diamonds. Too ugly for jewelry, but perfect for the grinding pads we use to prep the surface.
Perfect preparation and application. Now that's a perfect marriage.
Ugly diamonds?
Check. Perfect preparation?
Check. Smooth, gorgeous, gleaming floors that really catch your eye? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
The riders who face Daytona Supercross are built different. Withstanding the most unforgiving and grueling track is not just a point of pride, but of pure grit and determination. This battle can only be felt in person. Witness the action unfold at the only place in Florida where the biggest names will battle it out under the lights. Daytona Supercross is built different. It's built for champions. It's built for fans. The gate drops Saturday, February 28th. There's only one place to be. Secure your tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Nate Bargatze.
It's a lot to have two dogs, because you gotta open the back door and let two dogs out.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. 5-star Veterans Memorial Arena, February 26th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Hey, all time Lauren McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We've discussed so many different things on this show today, from the combine to the players and so much in between. Time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TerMinix.com. They take care of all of the pest control issues at Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. And they do a fantastic job, just like they do at my house. Well, this builds off of yesterday. I mentioned I thought that I had heard Jack Hughes was dating a Canadian, and so the pest for Taylor Doll's sake is going to be one Tate McRae. Tate McRae is the girlfriend of Jack Hughes, and that does not bode well or sit well with one Taylor Doll.
Yeah, I didn't know she was Canadian, honestly. I did not know that. Did you know she was Canadian?
I think so. You know, my girls are a big fan.
Yeah.
They my wife and 3 daughters saw her in Orlando, maybe? I think it was Orlando.
Yeah.
She's a pop star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they love her.
It's interesting because every clip
hate her.
Well, every clip I've ever seen of her, she like sits on a couch or a chair and like reads lyrics off her phone and just sits there and sings. And I don't know if it was like that at everything she does, but every video I've ever seen of her performances, that's what she does. It's literally like a kind of nice little couch setup, but she has her phone the whole time and is like reading off her phone and singing. And it's like a lot of covers, and I guess she has some of herself. And like I said, maybe it's just the.
How could Jack like something like that?
That's what I know.
I mean,
what are
come
we
on,
thinking?
Jack.
What's
wrong with you?
Jack Hughes.
Let me ask you: if Jack didn't score the winning goal, would you still think the same thing?
I still loved Jack even before that game. Go back and look at my Twitter. I did.
Broken tooth and all.
Broken tooth and all. Yeah.
For
I don't know if you've
wondering-
ever heard the tooth story.
Yeah, I don't know if he has.
I don't know the tooth story. I don't think.
There was this was probably back in like 2018, 19, something like that. I was kind of hanging out talking to one of the Iceman players at the time.
Okay.
And he was missing. So he had fake teeth, but they were just kind of like ones that kind of came in. But it was only 2, so it was like his fang teeth. So it's both of those. So he's like talking. I said something, made him laugh. When he laughed, his teeth flew out of his mouth. And just out of reaction, I catch him. So I'm just standing there like holding his teeth, and all the like rest of the Icemen are just in tears laughing. They're like, she just caught your teeth. And he's like, that's kind of gross, honestly. But yeah, so missing teeth don't bother me.
Good reaction.
Yeah, I do think that the U.S. hockey team story has been so much fun. Men's and women's obviously both beating Canada, but just following along with their now drunken mess, or not mess, but their drunken parties
They've
that are
been
going
on a little bit of a bender.
South Beach, yeah, and I can understand why. Like, as much stress as we felt watching that game, especially when it was, tied up and in the second and third periods, the Canadians, like we talked about yesterday, had the puck. It felt like they had it for, the period's 20 minutes, it felt like they had it for 19 minutes out of that for both of those periods. So they felt that stress even more. They were the ones on the ice. They were the ones, obviously getting hit left and right, losing teeth and things like that. So I feel like that's why they're partying even more. It's not because they didn't just win like 4-1 and had a fairly easy time. And they know how good those Canadians are too.
Yeah. And speaking of, this is kind of rolling off of that, the pest, which is because, did you hear the jersey thing that they don't have any U.S. hockey jerseys? They sold out because I can't remember who it is, so I don't want to say the wrong company. I don't know if it's Fanatics or if it's, I'm not totally sure. But they thought Canada was going to win, so they didn't make enough USA jerseys. So there's like none, and people are furious because no one can go on and buy any jerseys right now, but they have plenty of Canada ones because I guess they were expecting the Canadians to win.
You know what? Like going into the Olympics, I didn't feel like the hockey teams were like going to carry that patriotic torch.
By the way, it's Nike.
Okay.
I mean, even in the 80s documentary, like it took a minute for the American people to get into the hockey team, because they started winning. They're like, oh, wait, look at. And then my point is, it's cool how it's turned into this American USA, US, you know what I mean? Like, and they're at the epicenter of it. Going in, maybe you felt differently. I didn't really feel it. And then as you get further along, and then they're winning, and then it's against Canada, and then you're just like, oh man, this is so awesome. And now
it's what happens in those sports that aren't as mainstream, even though hockey is certainly one of the more powerful sports in our country. But with like a soccer, with a hockey, it does take a little bit before I feel like the mainstream fan jumps on the bandwagon.
If the soccer team won the gold in
it would be if the United States win the World Cup, it would be insane. The odds of USA winning the men's hockey were much better than the odds of U.S. winning
Well,
World
and so
Cup.
that's what I was about to say. I think that I did expect it, number one, because of what happened with the Four Nations last year. The Four Nations, when it was like U.S., Canada, that was insane. And it was, the viewership was crazy. Everybody was
That's when they
talking
dropped
about
gloves
that.
at the beginning, right? Yeah,
and it
that
was
was
like
great.
first 9 seconds they're fighting. And I think that that helped in a lot of senses. I also think that USA hockey is good. And like for the first time in a while, last year too, but like in the last few years, USA hockey is becoming to where they can compete with Canada. And because they can, you feel like they can actually battle and win. That's part of it. I just saw they're actually, for the Four Nations next year, they're expanding it to 8 nations, I guess. So it's going to grow even more.
Cool.
So you can tell, like,
Because
hockey
it was
is picking
Finland,
up.
Sweden,
Slovakia.
USA, and Canada. I don't know if Slovakia will be invited. I'm not sure.
Finland.
Finland and Sweden were in it last year with the North American team.
Yeah, so I just think that hockey is in America growing in general, and I think it helps you get 2 Florida teams winning the amount of Stanley Cups they have. So now you're spreading it even to like a bigger audience. But the way that last year, I was like, man, the way Four Nations landed and did so well last year on TV, and the way people were talking about it, I was like, if it's USA, Canada, and that's why a lot of people, you were kind of cheering against Canada because you're like, oh, lose just because it would have been funny. But then you really wanted it to be USA, Canada in the gold medal game. You really wanted it.
There were moments Sunday morning I was like, damn it, Canada. Why did you have to come back and win? All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, we chatted about it earlier, and I know you and Ryan O'Halloran talked about it and Jamal St. Cyr yesterday, too. The Jaguars should have to have a press conference this week, even though they're not at the Combine.
I mean, you would think that'd be PR 101, right? You've got a 13-win team. You've got a fan base that can't get enough of your product. So by all means, stiff-arm them all week when everyone else is basically talking and answering. I mean, look, no one expects you to give the, plan away.
Right.
But at least, give the fans 10 minutes with the coach and the GM just so, there will be stuff that comes out of that that the fans are very interested in that certainly we can talk about. And, yeah, I thought a complete blunder by the Jaguars to, say we're going to batten down the hatches and be one of the only organizations in this league that offers nothing to their fans that are accustomed to hearing from them. I mean, they've always talked.
Yeah.
They've always been there. And I don't care if they're there or here.
Sure.
But something, conduct some kind of a press conference, for your fans. But, this is how they wanted to do it. So it's their prerogative. I just think it's, I just think it's really disappointing to treat your fans this way when, you've got them so excited. I mean, you got nothing to hide. It's not like you went 4-13 last year. I mean, you got a lot to sell. So, yeah, I think they overthought this, but we'll see. I mean, obviously it doesn't affect wins and losses, but I think I just think it's disappointing to stiff arm the fan base. But we'll see. We'll talk around them.
Yeah, all we can do are watch highlights from 2025 at this point.
Yeah. Anyway, so it is. We're obviously today is the heavy day at the Combine for coaches and GMs. So certainly a lot of good nuggets out there that we'll discuss. The Texans went to the podium. They talked. Mike Vrabel, was in the Super Bowl. I think he's talking today. Seattle won the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure they're talking today, but not these guys. They've got it all figured out. So anyway, but we'll have some fun with that coming up. Mark Long's going to join us at 4:20 to talk Jaguars, talk Gators. So we always enjoy Mark's insights. And yeah, Jamal was great yesterday, but great to have Hacker in with us for the rest of the week as Frank enjoys his vacation. So lots to get to coming up on the Frangie Show.
And I'm sure you enjoyed that roast that developed last night.
Had I known it was going to be that, I'd have gone to Spurriers. I mean, now it's like, wow, if that's what it's going to, it was fantastic on all sides. Yeah. And poor
I feel like
John
we have to
Sumrall.
expand it.
I totally
agree.
agree.
We need more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said I would pay to go to that every single year. If you get all the college football coaches and they're literally going to roast one
Particularly when you had no idea it was coming. Like Fulmer was great. Fulmer was like, well, I brought 2 scripts up here because I wasn't really sure where this was going, but I'll use this one. And
even Doug Dickey.
Yeah.
Like I thought
on Spurrier, like who can rag Spurrier and Spurriers? Only Coach Dickey could get away with doing that. But yeah, it was fantastic. We'll talk about that coming up as well because it is good. To have that kind of color and personality in the sport of college football, who has no off season at all, that helps fans at all. It's the worst sport in terms of the off season because they just disappear. Hopefully spring practice will be a little better now that they don't have that second portal window and teams aren't petrified of losing their roster after spring practice. But yeah, it was great to have, that kind of personality shown forth by so many colorful characters, and we'll certainly go all through it.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hayes. And for Florida, no longer Billy Napier, so the spring practice should be better there too, considering DJ Lagway wasn't throwing a season ago. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go